My name's Goober, and I got a story for you. Only got a couple, 3 minutes, so I'll try to make this quick, but not talk so fast you can't understand me. That happens sometimes. I was raised back down in the hills of Missouri. Hillbilly, that's me. But raised so long ago, we didn't have no electricity. None whatsoever. In the whole valley, we lived in darkness, kerosene lamps and the wood-burning stoves. But that began to change one day when this fella comes up over the hill into our valley planting trees. Funniest looking trees, straight up trunks with a branch right across the top, tree after tree after tree. Finally, I was just curious, Mister, what are all those about? I said, what kind of tree are those? He says, they weren't trees. I said, well, what are they? He says, they poles, electric poles. You're bringing electricity to our valley? He says, uh-huh. I watched him plant tree after tree after tree like that, pole tree after pole tree, pole tree. Then he went through and started putting sort of rope across there. A funny looking rope. I said, well, what kind of rope is that? He says, that's electric wire. He got all that finally done. Then he said, can you go with me? You want to go with me? Will you just start offering this electricity to whoever wants it? We did. So we were knocking on doors. He'd offer that electricity to them. You know, a lot of people said, no, thank you. We'll just live in the dark. We like where we're at. And then some people, they said, yes, they got hooked up electricity, they got electric lights and electric stoves and stuff. They had it all. But they kept living in the dark even though they had the light. I told my mom and daddy what we needed to do though. When he came to our door, we said, yes, yes, yes. We got all hooked up. And then I went through and turned on all the lights. And we used that electric stove. We tried to use it all. A lot to learn about it. We were using it. My daddy said, though, that's a lot like God and us. I says, what do you mean? He says, we all start off kind of like in the dark valley. I said, what do you mean? He said, we've all sinned. I said, I know that's in the Bible. What's that mean, Daddy? He said, we all got a dark selfishness of I, me, my. What can we do about it? He says, well, God did something about it. What did he do? He said he came and planted a pole tree. He did? Yeah. What's that all about? He said, the cross. For God so loved the world. I learned about that in Bible school, Daddy. For God so loved the world, he gave us his only begotten son. That's right. The cross kind of looks like one of those pole trees. He says he's right. But he didn't stay dead. He rose up. I know. And so he offers, comes knocking at our heart's door and wants to come in and bring his life and his light to us. Woo! But he said, you know what? A lot of people say no. Really, Daddy? He says, a lot of people say no. Oh, no, Daddy. But says some people say yes. They let Jesus in. They have his light and his life. But they still keep living in the dark. I said, that's sad, Daddy. I said, he knows. I said, but some folks like us, we're trying to. He said, they say yes to Jesus. They let him on in, let his light and his light in. And they're trying to shine it on out. Ooh, Daddy, that's what I want us to be. That's what I want to do. Oh, he said, I know, Hubert, I'm so pleased for that. I said, oh, Daddy, I just hope I want to be one of those who tells other people about that Jesus fella and just let people in. How about you folks? Have you let him in? Well, if you haven't, come on, let him on in. And if you've let him in, you're not letting him shine on through, do all he wants to do. Why don't you do that, please? And you pray for me and I'll pray for you. We'll try to get that done, okay? All right, thanks for letting me be with you today. So long.